Deion's recruiting requirements for these Colorado Buffaloes. He recently went on and said that he wants his offensive guys and defensive guys to have a different um, have a different requirements.
Yeah.
Basically, if you haven't heard, he says that he wants his quarterbacks to come from a two parent household, be great grade A students, basically, good kids, and by all
He
intents and
said
purposes,
good
good
kids.
kids, studious kids. And
That's way better. That's way
yeah,
better.
I'm cleaning
That's
it up
way
a
better
tad bit.
because you know what I'm saying. Because niggas that get out the mud can be
Yeah.
good kids too.
So, so he,
Sterling, when you was a good kid, weren't you? You was a good kid, weren't you, Sterling? Sterling's like, don't bring me into this.
Nah, what man?
but
Nah.
Damn, Sterling, stop. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, boogie.
all right, and he's like,
Aiden Hutchinson's gonna be my only
yeah,
example. Go ahead.
he wants his defensive players to basically be the opposite. He wants them to, not as he said, not know who their daddy is, and basically kids
Bro,
that had to struggle. That's what he wants on
that's
defense.
terrible.
He wants some motherfuckers. Now, look, Dion is, if anything, is a great recruiter. So I like to go ahead and give him, the benefit of the doubt and say that he might be on something. but
No, you know what? That's man. That's one of those things that you're like, Dion. You you don't tell that joke on the Rich Eisen
yeah,
show.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's what the main thing was. Like,
yeah,
if you tell that joke on with Bomani Jones, like y'all can
yeah.
laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? But you told that joke on the Rich Eisen show, and like you heard how hard they laughed. No,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he's gonna know his dad. Oh, yeah, he's gonna play good football. Niggers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, so like that's the biggest. I'm just gonna point at the elephant in the room. That's the biggest. That's some jokes you don't tell. In some certain places, but like, I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. I'm sure that we can go find. There's probably a black quarterback that didn't know his dad that played very well in the NFL. There's probably a lot of them. There's probably ones that knew their dad that played good defensive end. Now for us to laugh at it, we want to and we can, but we also in the same breath like, damn, why you tell it there, y'all? Like, you told it in the wrong circle, bro. Like you tell that to the BETs or like I said, like you get on there with Bomani Jones or something, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. I think everybody that has some sort of sense of humor gets it. And y'all know me. I'm all for every joke of all of ever time. So like, though you can't cancel. No, that shit was funny. So if you want to be mad about that shit, then go sit in the fucking corner. That shit was fucking hilarious because you do want your defensive lineman to be hungry as fuck, going to
uh,
get it. You know what I'm saying? And you do want and honestly, you do want your offensive lineman to have the structure that a fucking father would bring. Because there's a lot of rules and everything that go along with being an offensive lineman. You want your quarterback to have the structure that having a father would bring. You know what I'm saying? And not to say mothers can't bring that same type of structure, but I think that when he said that, like, a lot of people took it way too literal,
oh
and that's
yes,
why I think that he told it in the wrong place. Because if he told it in the right place in the right setting, like, we would have all laughed at it. We would have all laughed at it one more time. We would have
we
all laughed at it, but you told it in the wrong setting, so they got to laugh at that shit a little bit harder than we would have laughed at that shit, and that's the big problem.
Yeah, I liked what he had to say because it was actually real. And if we're really honest, I think if college coaches or actual recruiters will actually come out and say this, they can't say it publicly because it's frowned upon. But this is what they actually think. Um,
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, these guys who are head coaches and these recruiters, this is how they make their livelihood. They are looking at these characteristics and traits. I would much rather you go get a kid that's getting it out the mud to set up his family for generational wealth than some privileged kid, black, white, Hispanic, don't care. You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? Because the opportunity, these kids want it more. I mean, take this
yeah,
we could take this situation and apply it to real life too, right? Like, there are kids who had a silver spoon and it shows in their adult life. Now they get some have more opportunity, and I'm not saying all, but some have done more with others or with different opportunities. But for Deion to come out and say that, I'm so happy that he said that, because I think a lot of people think it, they just won't say it, and they think it, and that's how they recruit, but they won't say it publicly. And I appreciate that, because hey, when you look at quarterbacks, look at the quarterbacks in the NFL. How many of them get it out the mud, and how many of them had a fairly decent life with two parents, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But to me, I think that another place to be a little bit more serious about it, where people are looking at it as, I draw the line at offense and defense. That's just sports in general.
Yeah.
It's just sports. If you tell a kid you don't have any other option but this, and you tell another kid that, well, shit, you can go to college, bro. You can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. and grind it out. You don't have to be as strong as 90% of the grown men on human earth. You know what I'm saying? At the age of 16, you know what I'm saying, in order to get out. You know what I'm saying? So that, I think the offensive defense, you know what I'm saying, is another thing that makes me say, like, why is it not? But like, that's just athletes in general. Like, to be a professional athlete, you got to have something in you that's a little bit more than everybody else. And the only way to get that little bit more is to have that want. The only way to have that want is to have that need. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you ain't got that need at that early, a lot of people don't get that need early in life. Like, sometimes that need comes later. But in sports, you ain't got later. Sports, I need the motherfuckers that need it now, from the age of 16 to 20 to 22. I need you now. Like, and that's going from college to the pros. I need niggas that's age 16 to 22 that want to die for this shit, literally. You know what I'm saying? And the only motherfucker that's willing to die for a fucking ball and a touchdown is someone that needs it to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't need that shit to eat, you ain't gonna die for that shit. Seriously, like, dead serious. Why do you think the best fucking athletes come out the gutter? Like, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's exceptions to the rules. Sometimes you can roll with some people that are from privileged areas, but even in basketball, like he said, the coldest white dudes and the coldest black dudes end up in the same arenas. Why? Because they're searching for it. But you have more of them come from a place where you really that's your only way out. Like, and then honestly, it's the people that aren't in the middle, to be completely honest, because the people in the middle are the ones that get to make a choice, whether they're good enough to go to hoop or whether they want to do some sort of like sport. Like, the people at the very top, they're told, like, we're gonna put you through these fucking classes and these camps and academies, and we're gonna build you into an athlete. And the people at the very bottom are the ones that told you have no fucking choice. We ain't got no money for academy. We ain't got no money for no trainer.
Right.
Get your ass out there and be the best motherfucker you can be, because you were born with an extra leg muscle and you can run a 4.2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but real talk, but that's true. But they meet in the middle. You have your Kevin McHale's and you have your Isaiah Thomas's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think the circle that he told it is what's got everybody. I'm just being honest, man. He was surrounded by a bunch of white dudes, and he told a joke that basically was centered around our culture. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, why you tell that joke around him? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a step. I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, just don't do that. I'm not gonna go that what I was gonna say, but yeah, just don't do that.
All right. A lot of people were saying that, they obviously started kind of, taking Deion's words, kind of pointing at him, saying that, oh, well, your son didn't come from a 2-parent household and blah blah blah. Why is he the starting quarterback? Well, let me spell it out for you, Sparky. All right. Number one, the motherfucker's good, and number two, he's his son. So yeah, he's gonna fucking start. Okay, stop acting stupid.
And number three, this is sports, people.
Yeah.
Over anything else, the good people play.
And
Lamar Odom was on crack.
Facts.
Karl Malone was having sex with 13-year-old girls.
Whoa, bro. Whoa, yeah.
It's a sad thing to say, but it's the truth.
He did it.
Like if you in sports, it's the sad thing to say. Like, if you cold, you're gonna get out there. So
yeah, man.
You get to jump over rules. So it don't matter if he didn't have no mama and no daddy. That nigga be a test tube baby. Can he throw 60 on a dot? Yeah, put his ass out there.